And happening today, another recall election in East Cleveland.
Yeah, voters will decide if East Cleveland Mayor Brandon King will stay in office or not. 19's Noel Williams joining us live from the Board of Elections. Noel, what time are polls opening today?
Well, polls will be opening within the next hour. 6:30 this morning is when polls officially open. According to the Board of Elections, voters will get the chance to finally, and today's the last day, voters will be able to turn in their ballots and make a final decision.
East Cleveland Mayor Brandon King is facing his second recall election after he barely survived a recall election in November 2022. Voters rejected that recall against King by just 19 votes. Since then, King has faced backlash. A video filmed in July this year shows the East Cleveland mayor drinking alcohol on city property, a string of controversial incidents involving East Cleveland city employees. For today's special election, voters must provide photo identification, including an unexpired Ohio driver's license, state ID, a U.S. passport or passport card, or a U.S. military ID card. Polls close tonight at 7:30.
For more information on voting locations, you can visit our website online at cleveland19.com. Reporting live at Board of Elections, Noel Williams, 19 News.